Hello everybody, this is Frowny13 here, and welcome to the Frowny13 Talkshow episode 49. We're here, we're live, we're doing this. Yes sir. Just making sure everything is good. Alright, audio seems to be good, everything seems to be good. Alright, so you may have noticed that I did the intro to be 10 minutes now. As you know, for the past few years, I have been doing 5-minute intro start times. I used to do 10 minutes on a regular basis, except it seemed that people were exiting the live stream before the 10-minute thing even ended. However, I decided to start 10 minutes in advance this time because YouTube now has a brand new studio that I use for live streaming. The one, for the longest time, this new live stream thing has actually been a while, but I still like to use the classic live stream because it's just the one that I'm used to using and it's easy to use. And this new YouTube studio, apparently some people were saying that it was being a bit problematic, so I decided I would start the live stream 10 minutes in advance, so this way I could correct any problems that arise. However, it seems that there hasn't been any problems at all. So anyway, shout out to Indian Pacific Gamer 263 who was in the chat and was speaking a little bit earlier. I'm not sure why he's not saying anything now, but probably watching anyway. So also apparently analytics are part of a thing. So at this very moment, apparently we have 3 concurrent viewers, 0 chat rate, 5 playbacks. Which, I mean, let's see. So it even gives you like this analytic type thing, and it's like, I mean, it looks interesting, I guess. I mean, personally, I thought that the old one was fine. I mean, I've been using it since 2017, well, regularly, since 2017, and what 2016? Well, I started doing live streams in 2016, except 2017 was the first year that I regularly did live streams on the computer. But it was 2016 that I only did live streams on my iPad. I actually did one live stream on my computer in 2016, which was meant to be a test run. And I did it, and I didn't really like the way that turned out, so I never did one again until 2017. And I've done these semi-regularly since. So, yeah. Anyway, I am back. Back, I say. Back from a vacation. You may be wondering, well, where am I coming back from? Because despite the circumstances, I managed to upload a video every single week, and that's really been my goal. Like, I've been trying to get one video out per week to keep the content flowing because, it's insane. Like back in like the days, the mid 2010s and stuff, I used to do 3 videos a day, and now we're down to 1 video per week, which is probably a good thing because, obviously this channel has changed a lot over the years, and at this point it's quality over quantity. Like I'm not just like the days aren't here where I post a bunch of videos but they're all lazily made. These days I prefer to post videos at least once a week, but the video itself is well made and entertaining to watch and not cringy and lazy and stuff, and I didn't just make it like it was just a straight raw recording. Anyway, so yeah, that's a bit of history for you. So this is Talkshow episode 49. You're probably wondering where's 48. Well, I've decided that episode 48. Jeez, I've decided that 40 is a cursed number because there have been 2 attempts where I've tried to do episode 48, except both times were it was like a serious live stream. So, and in the end, I just didn't even post it because I was not proud of it, and I didn't want it to be a third round in a row, so I was like, you know what, let's just skip episode 40 and just go straight to episode 49, because this isn't going to be necessarily a serious live stream, but we're going to be going into some interesting topics. So as you know, in my announcement on the community post yesterday, as phone decides to beat. Alright, who is this? Someone from Discord? It is... Oh, it's Scooby apparently. Okay, well, I might bring him on a bit later. But there's a lot of stuff worth talking about today. 6 playbacks. I have no idea what the playbacks mean. Like, is that like, it's not me playing back? Is it like someone? Is it like a YouTube viewer playing it back? I don't really know. Let's see. Give me just a second. I do apologize. Just texting Hulu right now. This is really important. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, do apologize for that pause. Oh. Oh, oh, yeah, there we go. Who be, okay, oh, there's Bridge Columbia. I sent you a message on Discord, but, yeah, you can join the YouTube chat for the time being because, I want to get this show on the road. So, as you know, this was going, well, okay, as you know, if you read the community post yesterday, this was initially going to be a Roblox live stream. However, I decided to turn it into a talk show because, for one thing, I haven't actually done a successful talk show since a year ago. Yeah. I've since evolved these talk shows. Like, I've turned them into what I call the top year talk shows where, you know, I don't usually do these solo talk shows anymore. I try to do the top tier talk show where I get my mates involved as well, but I feel like with the current ongoing circumstance in the talking group, which I'll talk about in a bit, I feel like that today is a good day to come out on my own live stream where it's basically me on a podium and basically you're speaking on my own. Just looking at the YouTube chat for the time being. I might bring on Hoobie on a little bit later, but I decided I want to start this with on my own because I do have quite a lot to talk about. So, it's also one thing that's interesting to me, and then one thing that I realized that apparently the last live stream I did was back in July, and apparently that live stream was the Forza Motorsport trailer reaction stream or the E3 thing. I thought I had done another live stream at some point in time. I guess not. Yeah. Yeah, the Xbox Game Showcase is the most recent live stream that I did, and that was back in July. So it has been just almost exactly 2 months since I last did a live stream, which makes sense because I've actually decided that I want to do live streams less on this channel because the thing with live streams is that they're easy to do, but when you do so many of them, it gets a little bit repetitive. Like, I liked to do live streams, but I think the biggest reasons why I liked to do live streams was because I was playing all these games and going on all these virtual adventures and games like Train Simulator and Forza, and of course I would have the lads involved in Top Gear, but with how things have gone in the group recently, and well, not just the group, but in real life in general, and content creating, I've decided to really move away from live streams, instead focus mostly on videos. Like, I've decided to just reserve live streams for important occasions. You want me to start a Discord call, or are you going to start? Yeah, I'll start it whenever I feel like it. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but I'll make sure I'll start it before the live stream ends. I'm going to be going until 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is an hour and a half from now. And I will be ending at exactly 10:30 as I have a NASCAR race to watch straight after that, which I'll be talking about in a little bit later. But anyway, so yeah, I've really decided to shift the focus away from live streams. And by the way, which also reminded me, Train Simulator 2021 is already out, and I only did about 12 or so streams in the entirety of the lifespan of Train Simulator 2020. Which I think is the iteration of the game that I did the fewest live streams on. Like, I did quite a few live streams on Train Simulator 2017, 2018, 2019, but then when Train Simulator 2020 came out, of course I did live streams a lot less. I still did them, but I did them a lot less. As for when I'll do a live stream on Train 2021, that I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. But I've decided to move away from live streams like that because, I want to put all the focus on videos now. That's not to say that I don't dislike doing live streams. I still do like live streams on again. For example, I'm doing it, doing one today. And I think one of the other big reasons, or I'd say big reason, one of the reasons why I decided to do a live stream this week was because there's not going to be a video this week. However, there will be one next week, and I'll talk about that in a bit as well. So I guess that's all on the short-term news as for channels. So I guess now it's probably best to explain where have I been, because, well, I say where have I been. I've been here all along, but I don't know. I haven't really done like a video recently where it's like a recently made video. Like a lot of the videos that I've uploaded recently are ones that were recorded either earlier this year or late last year. I mean, let's see. I might as well just stick this whole screen. Not have my thing on the thing. I mean, yeah, a lot of the videos I did were a while back. I mean, let's see. I mean, well, one of the exceptions though is the video titled "Why Twitter Kind of Sucks." I made that video. Well, I uploaded that video only a couple of days after I made it, which for some reason has more dislikes than likes for some reason. Yeah. I guess how dare I criticize Twitter even though I think all of my criticisms are valid. I never tried to put across an invalid criticism. That's not me anymore. Actually, there was the Forest Hills video during rush hour. That video was in August, though, so I mean that's pretty recent. I think you get the point. I haven't done many videos that I just came out and recorded. But that will change eventually. So as far as YouTube in general goes, so obviously, for the longest time, I was thinking about the NRL series and Bulletin Season 4, and plans haven't really changed much. They've just been pushed back a bit because, as you know, with the NRL series on my channel, or specifically the 2020-2021 season, funny enough, my original plan was to officially start the series in the first week of September. Now, though, with how things are looking, we might be looking at possibly either the first week of November or some point in mid-November. Or, who knows, maybe it would be the most ironic thing, by the way, if the 2020-21 NRL season started after the end of the real-life championship season, that is the NASCAR Cup Series. So it's like, as soon as the thing in real life ends, the thing in my universe begins and runs all the way through next year. Which is on that later. And Build Season 4, well, really not much has changed in Build Season 4, honestly. I'm planning on starting work on Build Season 4 right after I finish work on the NRL series, which I'm estimating will be in February, because, as soon as I get all of these stupid paint schemes and pinballings done, I can finally get on to actually producing the series itself, as in recording it and editing it and uploading all that stuff, I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I still haven't been able to do it because I still haven't completed all the paint schemes and stuff, which is critical for this series to be what I want it to be. Like, yeah, in the state that's in, I could just cut corners and just start with the way that is now, but I just can't. It just comes across as just unfinished, and I at least want a finished product that is good. So, yes. And I was planning on starting the well, what am I saying here? So, the series, the NRL series, so I'm planning on starting uploading that in November, although the uploading dates are actually way past February, let's just say. But I'm planning on getting all the races recorded, uploaded, edited. That's not right. Recorded, edited, and uploaded by February or March, or some point in the first half of 2021. And then I'm planning on starting work on the Bill and Ted series right after that, and hopefully finishing that up by next summer. Yeah. And then Bill and Ted Season 3 might be like a summer series where just every show premieres, because I guess one thing that's worth mentioning for Bill and Ted Season 4 is that what I'm planning on is that rather than do what I did for Bill and Season 3, what I'm going to do for Season 4 is I'm going to record, edit, and render all of the shorts for Season 4, then upload them all when the whole series is done, because I don't want it to be like Bill and Ted Season 2 and 3 where there was like a gap in between the uploads or the shorts. And it took a while for me to get around to making more of them. So, that's why I'm going to be taking some more precautions with Bill and Season 4 so I can get all of the shorts uploaded on a weekly basis, and there's no like gap in between where you don't have to wait several weeks for another show to come out. I'm gonna make sure they come out every single week until, of course, the season is completed. And in case you're wondering, yes, beyond the season 4 will consist of 10 shorts, just like the previous 3 seasons. Yes. So, what else is worth talking about? So talking about YouTube, there isn't much to say beyond YouTube. Also, you may have noticed that I mentioned that, live streams, on my community tab, I mentioned that live streams will be popping up whenever I feel like it. This is true because I've just mentioned the NRL series, and I'm going to be continuing focusing on the NRL series all the way until it's done. So really for the rest of this year, and really all the way until next summer, live streams are originally popping whenever I want. But I've decided to make that so for the rest of this year, in case maybe starting next year I decide to do live streams a little more regularly again. But realistically, from here on out, from now until the end of the year, I'm going to be doing live streams really just whenever I want. This live stream is a prime example, and if you look on the live stream schedule, I've actually bring in all the months, like the remaining months of the year: September, October, February, November, and December. And the only scheduled live stream that is on there besides this one is the 2021 New Year's special. So yeah. By the way, little teaser. I know. Well, I say little teaser. It's a little hint, I guess, a little thing about it. When are you going to add me? What do you? Probably when I get to the climax of or near the end of what I'm talking about. I'm not too sure. But I'll make sure that's at some point. Maybe some point near the end of the live stream. Or I'm not sure. Might be a little while though, because I have lots to talk about. But yeah. Anyway, so one little hint one little thing I might as well point out about the New Year's special. Let's just say that the format is going to be a little bit different this year, because for the previous 2 specials I've talked about each year by like the month by month with the events and stuff like that. But with the ongoings of this year and some other things, I've decided that I'm going to change the format up a little bit this year. It's still going to be kind of the same thing, but we'll see. Then I have a lot to talk about. Okay. Well, I guess whenever I finish up with what I'm talking about, which might be another half hour, but the stream will be going on for another hour and 10 minutes as of right now. So close all the way. Anyway, so yeah. So that's YouTube covered, I guess. So what's next? I guess I'll talk about life outside of YouTube, and I haven't really said much about it since July, or a while actually. And I've been meaning to post a channel update and a live update for quite a while now. Like at the beginning of August, when that storm happened, I've been meaning to post an update video. And the reason why I still haven't gone around to posting that video yet is because it keeps becoming outdated. Like, you want to know the best thing ever? Like, I've actually done 2 takes so far with the update video, where the first take, I actually edited the first half of it, but then I got bored of it and decided to finish it another day. DME return. Okay, well, I'll probably do that eventually. But in the meantime, you can, stay tuned, because I have some interesting to talk about. Anyway, so I've been meaning to post an update video for quite a while now, but the only reason why I haven't yet is because, well, like I said, he's becoming outdated. So I edited the first take of the update video, and I edited the first half of it, and I was gonna edit the second half another day. However, the second half of that video then became outdated. So so a little while after that, I decided to film another take of the update video, and I actually edited together that entire video and was ready to post it in a couple days afterward, and then that video became outdated. So 2 times I've done 2 takes of of the update video, and both times it's become outdated, and I really don't want to do a third one. So, yeah. I really don't want to do a third one. I might, though. Or, well, I say that. I'm technically doing this. So, might as well, you know, say the life updates and stuff. So, anyway. The month of August was a rather interesting one. I mean, well, I say interesting. Well, let's see, there was the storm, and actually, to be honest, not much actually happened in August. I mean, apart from the Forest Hills video, not much really happened, to be honest. I mean, I really spent the month of August, working on NRL stuff here and there, like sporadically, and also just doing other things and stuff. Apart from that, though, the month of August, not really much to talk about, to be honest. Oh, there was that incident that happened on Twitter at the very end of August, which I've kind of talked about actually in the Why Twitter Sucks video, so you can watch that. And then we come to September. So the month of September, it's an interesting one. Well, okay, not really, but it's got some stuff we're talking about. For example, a good happened at the beginning of the month, not on YouTube but in real life. I went to Thompson Speedway. Yes, sir. So that was the Thompson 150 event with the NASCAR with a modified tour and the other weekly divisions, and I think I might as well talk about that for a bit. Yeah. So it's the month of September, and I am finally going to my first race event of the year. Yeah, it took until September for an event to happen, and I finally went to it because, of course, as you know, with the ongoing world situation, as you know or may not know, I live close to two racetracks. Like, there are two racetracks that I would consider my home track. There's the Seekonk Speedway and the Thompson Speedway. Now, Seekonk Speedway is an interesting one because that season didn't start until June, and then the first event of that season, of the 2020 season, was rained out. So I would go. I say I would go. Let's say the first event didn't even happen until next week. However, I didn't even go. Well, hang on, how do I put this? What basically happened with the first Seekonk event of the year was, when they were advertising it, there was all these, articles on the, I say all these articles, there was like these notices on the website, with the protocols that of course need to be followed because of, what's happening right now. With all the social distancing and stuff like that, but they never clear-cut said if they were allowing fans or not. So I didn't really know what they were really doing with the event, because there was no like clear-cut notice saying fans will be allowed as long as social distancing is a thing. And there wasn't either like no fans are allowed. So I thought that fans were allowed based on what they were saying. So I went to the track, or we went to the track, I'd say, and we went, and we got there a little bit earlier because as you know, the Fast Friday program usually starts on Friday. Yeah, it starts on Friday. It starts at 5 p.m. And so, but we like to go there a little bit earlier just to check out the stuff. And then we noticed that at 5 p.m. the front gates weren't opening. Yeah, and it was a bit odd because the front gates weren't opening. There was nobody there, and there was nobody at the front gates. So I was like, what's going on? And, we were starting to wonder, are they not allowing fans? Or what? So, we were confused. So then, I went up to the one of the officials, asked them, are you allowing fans? And they said, no, we're not allowing fans until the governor says so. So, there was, get this, there was no real notice on the Seagoing Speedway website about saying fans or no fans. And another thing I should mention, that before we went that day, like the week before, we actually called up Seagoing Speedway and asked them what's going on, and there wasn't even an actual person on the phone call. It was just the robo thing. So, and the robo thing was useless. We couldn't interact with it the way that we wanted to. It was just completely useless. So, we were basically just going to the Seagoing Speedway with the wild guess that they were allowing fans based on what was going on the website. And after we found out that fans weren't being allowed until the governor said so, I then looked on the Seagoing Speedway website again on my phone, and there it is, a big thingamajig saying no fans allowed until the governor says so. So they wait until the day of the show to say no fans allowed. And that is appalling. That is not the way to do things. Like, usually Seagoing Speedway's community service is alright. Alright, it's passable. But in these circumstances, you need to really make sure that everyone is informed what's going on. Otherwise, you're going to make the same mistake that we made and go to the track and find out, oh, fans aren't allowed. It's just like, come on, man. They didn't even say on the website, no fans allowed. Like, and with the way that the website was saying, it seemed like they were going to have fans. And I've also checked on all the social media pages of Seagoing Speedway. None of them said, no fans allowed. It's just so stupid how they waited until the day of the show to say fans aren't allowed. Like, come on, man. They might say, oh, well, why don't you just check the website on the day of the show? Well, because surely they would have something on Twitter or something. But no, I had to look it up to find out that there was no fans allowed. They couldn't post it on Twitter or Facebook or something that no fans are allowed. You had to go to the website itself to find that out. And that is pretty unacceptable, I have to be honest. So, yeah. And honestly, I haven't even cared about the season this year at CityCon, because for one thing, fans haven't been allowed to any of the events so far this year. And now that the season's already winding down, like, it's just, it amazes me because, when the Seagoing season started and I found out they didn't have fans, I just lost all interest. Like, I just lost all interest, and already it feels like it's only been a little while, but the season's already about to conclude. But it's just like, I don't care. Because, for one thing, fans aren't allowed, and yeah, they do upload videos of the races on the YouTube channel, except the audio quality on the commentary is terrible, and the one camera shot is, I don't really care for it, I mean, they do that even when fans are allowed, except I never bother to watch them because I'm usually there in person to see it. But I don't know. I just haven't cared about Seagoing Speedway this year. And the thing is, the 2020 Seagoing Speedway season, it was supposed to be one of the biggest in quite a while. I mean, we were talking the ACT Tour was going to race there, the NASCAR the Modified Tour race was going to be extended, the ISMA Modifieds were going to be there, Super Modifieds, I mean, the Pastoral was going to be coming back. All this cool stuff was supposed to happen for the 2020 season, and none of it did. The only thing that we got is the Fast Friday Division, which I actually like, but I prefer to be there in person rather than watch it on rather watch it through a computer screen. You know, I mean, tickets are only $7, man. Why not? When you only live 8 miles away. Yeah. So, yeah. So now we talk about Thompson Speedway, and yeah. So well, it's interesting. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna go into a bit more depth about the COVID thing. By the way, what's about or what's actually about. But let's just say the governor of Massachusetts has really screwed over the Seekonk Speedway season because Seekonk Speedway themselves said that they've been exhausting all the options to try and host an event. So I can't fault them for trying. I mean, Seekonk Speedway officials, they tried their hardest to try to get a good season in, and they really couldn't, honestly. But they said themselves, the governor is the one that's restricting fan attendance. So yeah, it just sucks, man. Like, what was supposed to be one of the biggest Seekonk Speedway seasons in years turned out to be the weakest in a really long time. It's not even their fault. It's the fault, again, of the governor. And, of course, the world events. So, yeah. It seems like Seekonk was trying to make the best of that situation, and I mean, I understand why they couldn't just can the season, but they might as well just can the season, because I personally just don't care. I don't know how many people do actually care about the season at this point, but yeah. So I know this is like a really sad story, but it must be told. So anyway, but then you go over to Thompson Speedway, and it seems that the governor of Connecticut is being a bit more lenient because, well, that being said, however, the Thompson season, like that event in September, that was the first event of the year at that track. Like I was actually wondering when Thompson was going to host the event, and I thought maybe Thompson were possibly just hosting events, and I wasn't really knowing about it. But no, they actually say quite a bit about these events on Twitter, so you don't really miss it that much. I don't think, anyway. But well, that being said, maybe there has been an event or two. No, there couldn't be, because otherwise they'd probably see something about their Twitter. Anyway, whatever. But that was basically the first event of the year. So of course, this Thompson event had all 5 of the weekly divisions at Thompson, plus the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. And so I went. This event had a 25% capacity, and it still pulled a pretty good crowd, I gotta say. Well, considering. But it pulled a pretty good crowd, all things considered. And, dang it, what else was there to mention? Well, let's see, they pulled a pretty good crowd. Even at 25% capacity. Well, whatever, you get the point. And I was basically the first event of the year, and so of course I went. So I was expecting actually that my first racing event of the year would be in April, because my friend Tyler, his Tyler apparently started on the ACT tour. I'm not sure what he's doing now, but initially Tyler's plans was to run the full ACT tour season, and the first ACT tour race of the year was supposed to be at the New Hampshire Speedway in April. I was thinking, that was going to be my first event of the year, and that would actually been the first time that I'd been in New Hampshire. And by New Hampshire, I mean the Loudon, New Hampshire. The Magic Mile, the NASCAR Cup Series track. Yeah, that same track. Yeah, kind of interesting how The track that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series event is also hosting ACT tollways. I don't even know what else they do at New Hampshire besides NASCAR, but anyway. So I was thinking that April would be the first race event of the year that I would go to. And then I would eventually go to the first single speedway event of the year in early May. And of course, it's just so salty how it took all the way until September for me to be able to go to my first racing event of the year. And I guess before I go into like the future tense, I guess I'll talk about the event itself. It was actually quite a good one, but honestly, the most depressing thing about the event was the low car counts, specifically in the weekly divisions. Like the NASCAR, the Modified Tour pulled a bigger car count, but the rest of the weekly divisions, not so much. So at Thompson, you have the late models, the mini stocks, the street stocks, the Sunoco modifieds, and the light modifieds. So starting with the late models, the car count for that series for that division was actually kind of decent. 17 cars for the feature race, which is actually kind of a good number. Not the best number in the world, but it's good considering the circumstances. Although, then you get to the street stock division, which only pulled 10 cars. And yes, I know people say, oh, it's actually called the limited sportsman division, but I don't care. I'm going to keep calling it the street stock division because, well, it's back in my day, they used to actually call the street stocks, and I'm still not used to calling it the sports division. It's always called the street stock because that's basically what it is. So, the street stock division only pulled 10 cars. And that's where the red flag begins to pop up, because I think you want to pull at least 15 cars for all of your weekly divisions. Or at least most of them. I think if you are pulling, though, like less than 15, that's when the red flag pops up. I mean, that being said, if only one or two of your divisions are only pulling less than 10 cars or less, then that's not so bad because you've got the rest of your divisions that still have good car counts. But that wasn't the case here, however. So, the street stock division was already bad enough with only 10 cars. But then, you got to the mini stocks, which I can't remember which event had 6 cars, but I know the light modifieds did like 5 or 6 cars. Not light modifieds, the mini stocks had like 5 or 6 cars, and that is really small. Like, and that was for the feature race. Like I was wondering if they were just doing like one heat race or something. They were gonna bring on the guys later. No, that was it. I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. That was the feature race with 6 cars. Only 6 cars. And that's for the main event. It's not even for the heat race. It's the main event. And I was like, wow. I had never seen such a low car count for what is supposed to be the main race. And I might as well say it got worse from there. Then came the light modifieds, which I think only had 5 cars. And then the Sunoco modifieds, which only had 4 cars. I couldn't believe it. I had never seen so few cars in what is supposed to be the main event. I mean, the closest thing before that was last year at the Seagull Speedway. At 1 week, they only pulled 9 cars for the Pro Stock division, but that was fine because the Pro Stocks, of course, are very expensive, and they pulled a lot of cars for all the rest of the weekly divisions. I mean, even the Bandolero divisions had a pretty good car count, all things considered, last year at Seaconk. So, yeah. So, Pro Stocks only pulling 9 to 10 cars a week, but that was fine because the rest of the division was pulling like 15 to 20 to even 25 in some cases. Like I remember last year in the Sport 4 division, so many cars showed up that not all of them could race in the feature race. Like they had to boot out some guys from the feature race because there were so many cars. Like that's good. Like I think you're doing really well as far as pulling cars. If it gets to a point where you have to boot cars out of the main event because there's just so many. Anyway, but it wasn't even like some boot race. I mean, the boot race. It wasn't even some like consolation round. It was the race. I couldn't believe it. And I have to ask myself why. Why are the car counts so pathetic? Is it because the teams don't have enough money? Is it because... Well, I say that. There's a couple other reasons. For one thing, this initially would have been the first season, and technically still is, where, you know, like back in 2019, they... Well, it was basically what is a weekly division, you know. Every single week, you have your event where you have all of your divisions and stuff. Where 2020 would have been the first year that basically the weekly divisions became what might call the monthly divisions. Whereas instead of doing a race on a weekly basis, it was only monthly. Like there was only 6 NASCAR All-American. I think it's called something else now. But last year was the All-American Series stuff thing, you know what I mean? Only 6 of those events were planned. And this was an effort to boost the popularity of the road course at Thompson. And I was like, what are they doing? And I don't know if that doesn't even matter for this year now, because it sounds like now they're only going to get 2 of those events. I'll get to the second one in a second, but like it's just so sad because even just last year I went to one of the weekly races at Thompson last year, and then later I went to the Sunoco World Series, the Sunoco World Challenge. You know what I mean? The big one where they have all these touring series come to one track for one weekend. Even last year in all these divisions, the car counts were good. Like, there was a healthy amount of cars for all the divisions. I saw the Sunoco Modified Tour, the Sunoco Modified race. Like last year at the Sunoco World Challenge, there was a really good car count. Like, I forget how many there was, but there had to been at least 25. And that's really good. But 25, at least 25 last year compared to 4 this year. That is, it's so amazing to me for all the wrong reasons. Like, you know, all like the main guys that I would usually root for from last year, this year, they weren't even there. And I have to ask myself, what happened? Why? Is it because of the ongoing world events, or is it because of the shortage in NASCAR with an All-American Series events? Or is it both? I don't know. I hope it gets better next year. Or else they might as well just can the weekly events and just bring the occasional touring series race on the oval and put the rest of the focus on the road course. And then just do the Sunoco World Challenge in October every year, and yeah, it's, oh man. And what's funny enough about this road course is that the road course didn't even exist until like 2015. Before then it was just the oval. Yeah. So, yeah. Pretty sad, I gotta be honest. Pretty sad to see so few cars. Although, to give credit where credit is due, despite the low car counts, despite the low car counts, all the races were actually pretty good. The late model race was fun and interesting. Same for the mini stocks, the light modified, snuggle modified, street stocks. All the races were actually pretty fun to watch. I gotta be honest, I enjoyed all 5 of those races. There was not one race that I would consider to be boring. They were all good races. So, yeah, kudos to, despite having a low card count, you put on a good show. So, I mean, the low card count is still pathetic, but I mean, if you can still pull a good show, I guess it's not all bad. It's just mostly bad. Also, apparently on YouTube, I can also create a video highlight. I can also add a stream marker, which I don't know what I'm going to use those for, but we'll have to see eventually. So, yeah. I think pretty soon we'll be in at about 7 o'clock. Because there isn't too much more to talk about, but there is something to talk about. So anyway. So yeah, pretty good races. But then of course came the race of the day. The Thompson 150, hosted by the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. And this race would be the biggie, because that race pulled a really good car count. In fact, I think a couple guys had to go home or something. I don't know. I think the field limit was like 30 cars, but 26 to 27 showed up, which is still very good. I mean, not a full field, but still almost a full field, so still very good. And all this race was made even bigger with the fact that Ryan Preece himself was in the race. Yes, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I had no prior knowledge of this, but Ryan Preece, the Ryan Preece, as in the same guy that races at JDG Doherty Race NASCAR Cup Series, was there, racing in that number 6 car that he still seems to drive pretty much all the time in the NASCAR the Modified Tour. Like I was watching practice for the NASCAR the Modified Tour, and then I see a 6 car. It has that font. Hey, Frowny13, was watching right now. If I get maybe them higher. I decided I'm gonna let you in about 15 minutes, so I'm just gonna go a little bit faster here. But anyway, so the Ryan Preece, I saw that number 6 car. It was a very familiar font, so I checked the entry list to the race, and it was Ryan Preece. Like, I couldn't believe it. Preece was in the race, which would make this race all the worth more while watching for me, because my favorite underdog driver of the NASCAR Cup Series was in that race, and I knew that he would do pretty good, and he did. So, with that being said, let's talk about the race itself. So it was under 50 laps, so this was an endurance race, the longest race of the day by a long shot. I mean, the longest race previously, what I think was the Sunoco Modified race, which either 25 or 30 laps, I can't really remember. This race was 150 laps, so it was going to be a much longer race. It's going to last about an hour, which is actually good for a short track race, so yeah. So the race itself started, and it wasn't the most entertaining race start, but I guess with these endurance races, you don't really expect a good race right off the bat. You expect everyone to behave themselves, not do anything stupid, so this way they can be there in the end, because, you know, if it's an endurance race, you really don't want to push it too hard until the time is right. Because if you push it too soon, then you're going to be there at the end with not enough stuff left, and you're not going to win the race. So, yeah. So, off the restart, Doug Colby, I think, started on the poor. I think it was Justin Bonsignor. I can't remember who it was. But Doug Colby basically took the lead off the bat. And this is actually the first race that I've seen in Doug Colby in his new number 10 car, because I was as you know, I was at the Snuggle World Series last year. And I saw the NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour race there, where Doug Colby claimed his 6th NASCAR Wheel Modified Tour championship. That year, you know, of course, he was in the 2. However, this year, he's in the 10 because, for whatever reason, I don't even know, his team shut down, his old team. I don't know how that happened after they won the championship for the 6th time, but either way, Doug Colby is now racing for a different team, and it's still good, you know. Although it sounds like Justin Bonsignor might win this year's championship unless Doug Colby can pull something together in the last few races of the season. But anyway, So Doug Colby led for the first bit of the race, and Justin Bonsignor was there, and Ryan Preece qualified pretty high as well, though he fell back a couple positions. But you see, that was only for the time being. You see, what happened as the race progressed? There was some passing here and there, but you know what was interesting, by the way, is that Doug Colby was leading the race, and then I took my attention away from the lead of the race because someone was on pit road, so I wanted to walk to take a pit stop, and then I went and looked back at the race lead. Doug Colby was down in third, and Justin Bonsignor taking the lead, and some other guy, I can't remember who it was in second. So that was interesting. And Priest, I don't know if he was falling like a I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know if he was falling like a rock on purpose or something was just up with the car. Ooh, we would find that out though. So the race keeps going, and then a caution comes out. So then every single driver comes to the road for a tire change. By the way, one thing I don't really know, do they do pit stops in the NASCAR with a Modified Tour or just tire changes? I'm gonna have to look that up actually because I don't remember seeing any fuel cans out there, so I don't know if they refuel the cars. I know they just change the tires. In which case, why have pit stops at all? Honestly, just develop a really hard tire that can last the whole race. But yeah, I mean, tire strategy is still interesting though. Anyway. So, everyone came up the road, and the top spots remain roughly, or top positions remain roughly the same after the pit stops and after the restart. So I guess we keep going further into the race itself, and I can't remember too many of the events that happened. However, rarely near the end of the event, Ryan Preece, he was coming alive. So I think Ryan Preece actually started near the front after the pit stops went through. So he was there. At that point, he was ready to pounce, and he did. You know, Preece, he worked his way up through the field. And then, with 2 laps to go, Preece took the lead. He drove through the field, and he took the lead in the race. And then what would follow would be probably the biggest heartbreak personally for me of the year. So what came out was a really late caution. It was so late that they had to do NASCAR overtime. And as pit stops cycled through, well, I say pit stops, some pit stops were happening, I then saw the horror of Ryan Preece, who had been in the lead, coming down pit road. And I was like, what is this? What's going on? Why is he down pit road? He's first place in the race. No one else is pitting. Why is Preece doing this? And it turned out he had ran out of fuel. And that just broke my heart because the race was actually getting pretty good in the last 50 laps. Like, there was some good passing and good action. But it broke my heart when Preece, who had taken the lead... Are you ready for me yet? Oh, not yet. It will be but in a second. But Preece, he had taken the lead. And get this. Preece wound up coming up the road, not even finishing the race, because apparently his fuel cell ran out. So, my only guess is that a mechanical failure happened in the car with the fuel system. It wasn't injecting enough fuel into the car, and as a result, or into the engine or whatever, as a result, Preece, it sucked. And honestly, after that, I just didn't even care for the race. Like, after that race, I stayed for the last couple laps. Ron Silk won, but I didn't even care because I thought that after how bad this year has been, I thought that something good would finally happen because I was going to witness my favorite underdog NASCAR driver win a race in person. I was going to be there to see it. I was already getting excited. And then that happened. Ah, honestly, saying that just breaks my heart because, in general, it just breaks my heart whenever I see someone that I really like. It's something that they're finally gonna have success after a miserable year. But no, the miserableness continues. Yeah. So, yeah. Overall, though, I had fun that day. It was a very fun day at Thompson until the very end, when my favorite driver had a fuel problem and couldn't finish the race. It wasn't even Freeze's fault. It wasn't even a race crash. It was because his car had a mechanical failure in the fuel system. So that hurt me. It really did. Oh man, just talking about just makes me feel just so much just sad, honestly. Like, you know that feeling when your favorite driver or your favorite athlete is about to win something, and even better, you're there to see it in person, and then it doesn't happen because of something. Like, even if Reese had finished second, I probably still would have celebrated, but the fact that he didn't even finish the race because his fuel system had a problem just sucks. So, yeah. So the stream is getting quite a bit into detail. There were some other things that I want to talk about, but I want to bring Hoopy in here just to see. You know, he's got something to talk about too. So I mean, I guess I'll let Hoopy in just a second. So I guess he can talk about whatever he wants to talk about. You know, because why not? Might talk about more stuff in a future. Oh jeez, I'm just watching a thing on Twitter right now just for no reason. I might do a future talk show, like Talks episode number 50. That's a big number. Talks episode 50 where I talk about other things because there was actually another topic that I wanted to talk about and some other things I want to talk about, but yeah, I know I said earlier, oh, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about that, but yeah, this stream's getting pretty long at this point, so I don't think I'm going to talk about those today. I might talk about those in a future talk show. Maybe I'll do one, I don't know, next month or something. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. In the meantime, I'm going to start up Discord. I guess to mention it quickly, if you're wondering where Russell is, well, initially I was going to have him part of today's stream. That was going to basically be a Roblox RC, but then Russell decided to cause confusion delay, so, yeah. Then I decided to turn it into a talk show. And so I didn't have to bring in Hammond, and he's now recently uploaded the video to YouTube, so, yeah. Oh shoot, by the way. Oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, by the way, Hoobie, it's probably best that you don't text me to Discord while I'm doing a live stream because I don't usually look at that. Yeah, of course, Hammond's online, like it matters. Yeah. Well, not really much else to say, so I might as well bring in Hoopy in right now. Okay. Right in here. I might talk with Hoopy for a bit, by the way, as in talk about the subject that he wants to talk about on the show. And we'll bang. Bang the sausages. Oh, Discord didn't make it. That's cool. And he should be in pretty soon. And there you are.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Ruby, today I was hoping, like, to come at the start and we talked about something very important that is affecting the lives of elevator users.
Yes.
I am talking about the dangers of Ben.
I don't know what that is.
The dangers of Ben Z.
Uh, I
Ben Z was born in a small place in Coquitlam, British Columbia, in around 2004, 2005. He, he, he only cares about himself and his partner. Sorry, train, Sky Train. He only cares for himself and his partner. And that he makes whoever calls him certain name, secret name. He also gets the music Ben hates. His music. Certain very old music that he hates. The dangers of Ben. Ronnie can open a picture of Ben. I have one. We're going to talk about the dangers of Ben.
oh no.
Dangers of Ben. Very important subject everyone needs. Everyone living in Vancouver, British Columbia watching this needs to hear. And also remember, hopefully we're going to be sponsored by Yorkshire Tide.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot connect to the software. I'm going to take a screenshot of the picture. So I cannot connect to the software and connect it to.
And apparently Hoobie is on board a bus or something.
It's a train, I said. A sky train.
A train? Which train?
Called a Bombardier Noviair Mark II.
Well, hang on a minute.
A Novia.
Wait,
I
what
got
was
off
it again?
it. Bombardier ART Anovia Mark II. I got off it though. I'm hoping to get one of the Mark III Anovias. Has full block through.
Oh. Yeah.
Mark One.
Oh, it's essentially a metro.
Mark One. It's a metro. It's fully automatic metro.
Oh.
And then we'll also be talking about something that a lot of some people like Russell watching. There's also we're gonna ride the elevator.
Yeah, I don't think Russell's watching. As mentioned earlier, we tried to get Russell to be here, but he is
I tried helping as
so,
well, but
yeah.
he thinks that you are being rude to him, and you think he's being rude.
He's on a buffer. That's loud. I guess it's worth mentioning that Russell hasn't shown good behavior in Top Gear as of recent.
Come on. There was the door slamming.
And now we're having slow reception.
I slammed it too hard. Put it sideways.
By the way, it's probably best that you don't share your screen because the viewers can't see it, so...
Alright, but you can... Yeah, but... Okay, let's talk more about the dangers of Ben.
Okay.
Dangers of Ben is that Ben Z is a 17-year-old man of Chinese Hong Kong origin. That's also the interlock. That noise. Now, if you could show viewers this image.
Oh no.
So I'm in Montgomery right now.
Yeah.
Hydraulic Montgomery.
Is that in Canada?
He's from Canada. It's from Canada.
Oh, it's...
No. That noise you're hearing is another Novia. What we're
Yes.
trying to get is an Mark 1. A train that sounds like it has a transmission.
Oh, that's just kind
No,
of
no, no.
sounds
It's
somewhat like
because
Moore's work.
that no, it's linear induction motors. It's a very old linear induction motor from like 1984.
Hmm.
Well, don't blame 1984 if you want something to blame. Now, what did we talk about before NASCAR? We were talking about cars before, weren't we?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about the Thompson event that happened recently.
Oh yeah. You know
Um,
they're making a. Do you know what company's making a supercar that has an F1 engine in it?
right now Mercedes is
Probably
trying to
the
make
same
one.
one that is. They're saying it's the same one as Lewis Hamilton's F1.
Oh yeah, that's the Mercedes Project One, which
It's failing. I've heard it's failing. Why do we have so many Novias on the line today? I want a old, rickety Mark One, reliable, old, and old, and fast and comfortable. No, incredibly uncomfortable discomfort. Sorry.
yeah.
And now, if anyone were to come across the bin, be warned of what you say. Do not mention anything to do with phone. Do not mention anything to do with the word lift. It's for your own safety. Your own safety depends on it. Someone's trying to get in via the non-fair. Oh no.
Anyway, so that's the story
No,
of Evil Ben, I guess. So
no. That Ben hates. If anyone needs, now the weaknesses of Ben are Thomas Dolby, um, Chinese music, a song called "She Blinded Me with Science" by Thomas Dolby from 1984, 82. Those are the most important things you need to remember once you're facing a Ben. He hates the word lift. He hates being called the lift guy. He hates his girlfriend being called the lift lady. Remember those, and you might survive. And
hmm,
also, he hates being called the gay rubber button man. Because there's a button called the gay rubber button, we call it.
yeah.
And the gay, if the,
But I probably don't want to
we
use the
start
G word
reciting
on
a
here because
yeah.
it's a
Ooh,
family show.
404. Oh, we got 404. Train not found just coming in. Nokia Mark III. The newest
Oh,
in technology. In train. I don't want the newest in technology. I want the oldest in technology. One of those things. You can't see what's going on, but old train. It is making weird hum. Now, the hate now. Ben runs a channel called BC Spiders. His friend Van City Elevators. He hates being called nicknames.
hmm.
For that, you could use that to your advantage. He hates people mentioning the rubber button. The sacred rubber button.
Anyway, oh, hello, Carrigan Seaton. Welcome. I didn't only notice your text now, so I do apologize.
Hi, you didn't notice your message. We're just
Hang
wrapping
on.
up of the talk of the dangers of Ben. The
Oh, wait,
dangers
did
of
you two remove the wait, oh, here it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. Anyway, so apparently that was a myself. Carry the can.
Now, let's talk about something old, shall we? About what Top Gear asked they could do. They mentioned no one is buying V8 cars anymore.
Oh, whoops.
No one is buying V8 cars anymore. I don't want the V8. We all don't want the V8 to just melt away into this nothingness, just in the history books. So I thought I want to use a V8 someday. They thought they could use it to power something else, like a food blender, or a Sterilift, or a rocking chair.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, they've done that a few times. Actually, well, they did do that a few times back when
I was thinking,
the old Top Gear.
how about a V8 elevator?
Yeah. By the way, Top Gear. I haven't actually talked about that much on this channel. Yeah, in case it wasn't already enough, I'm obviously a big fan of the old Top Gear. I mean, well, I don't really care much for the new Top Gear.
Have you watched the Grand Tour?
I wish I could, except it requires Amazon Prime, which I don't feel like buying.
It has a lot of good shows. Like you can watch something that I was trying to make Ben watch, was this an anime. We were going to talk a bit about anime this time. But Ben hates if anyone mentions anime to him that's not Naruto.
Yeah.
Which I'm
the
trying to
Grand
make
Tour,
him watch.
I really wish that the Grand Tour wasn't on Amazon Prime, so I could actually watch it. Because it's annoying.
I've been trying to make Ben watch this anime called Idol Master Cinderella Girls.
By the way, I don't like subscription schemes. Why do people keep doing that?
Netflix has subscription schemes.
Why though?
What is this train? Why are there so many Novias?
Well, maybe that's the only ones that just happen.
Are they retiring the Mark 1s already? They can't be retiring them already. This one's going to King George, so I need to get on this one because it's going to King George.
Yeah.
No. I'll wait for the next. I want a Mark 1. 1. 1. Not 2. 1. Now,
that's nice.
Do you watch anime, Frowny?
Not really. I don't really care much for anime.
You must watch it. I am a weeaboo.
Unless it's the...
Kill the butterfly, Novia. No. Butterfly got out of the way.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't really care much for anime.
Tormented of butterflies. Being tormented by butterflies. There's one in a Fuji Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it, Novia. Maybe just Novia will get it. Latin it. Novia, you're useless. Novia are useless pieces of crap that can't hurt anything. Even a butterfly. Well, a Mark 1 could hurt something. Like, for instance, the person got pinned under one Mark 1s. That's better than these stupid pieces of junk that could not hurt. Novia. Novia. I said Mark 1. This is a Mark 2. God, keep giving me Mark 2s. Now, fine, let's go to something else. Frowny, you need to watch an anime. Yeah. No, trust me, you're gonna like them. Naruto's good.
I mean, sure, if I start to watch some anime, I would probably actually kind of like it, but I just haven't been able to get myself here.
Yes, that's the train, but it's on the other track. That's the train we need more of. Mark 1.
Well, if I would assume that the Mark II is newer, so...
The Mark II is more aerodynamic. The Mark 1 is just a square.
Well, the Mark II is newer, probably.
You can see it. This is a Mark II. That's a Mark I.
Speaking of new trains, if you guys want to see me ride on the new MBT Orange Line train, you can watch my Forest Hills video.
Well, maybe next stream
Yes.
I'll go on the West Coast Express and ride an F59 PHI or a MPI something something. Do you hear that?
That's the motors.
Transmission. It's the linear induction motor. We said I actually asked it. I actually found it switching power levels, or etc. Changing gears. So what the butt? Engineers have devised a way to make it better. They actually make it more smooth sounding, so it doesn't sound like it's changing gears.
Yeah, that seems to be the case with most.
It sounds like it's rapidly. Trains. This also sounds like some of them, when they're slowing, they're rapidly changing that.
Yeah.
I've been able to hear that. There you are, Mark 1. What took you so long? Where are you going, Mark 1? You're going production way.
It's interesting to me how close the trains are together.
King George, Mark 1.
Yeah.
I want King George.
Because not in Boston, you have to wait 5 minutes between trains during rush hour. Actually, wait, that's the point. This is during rush hour in Canada, isn't it?
Yes. And we're not getting any more of these. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful?
They're flat.
This is beautiful to you.
Yeah. By the way, Goopy is on the West Coast, so he's quite a few hours behind where I am.
Would you buy these things for your Metro, these beautiful things?
Maybe if but the nose needs to be more.
Do you know the Detroit People Mover? Do you know the Detroit People Mover? You're the Detroit People Mover, Frowny.
Yeah.
They use those. They use Mark 1. With Bombardier. No, not Bombardier. UTDC. Have you ever heard of UTDC?
Nope.
Is that a Mark 1 or a Mark 2? If it's not a 1, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Damn it, stupid Mark 1. Now, what do we want to talk about? We talked about the dangers of Ben. That was pretty much all I wanted to talk about today.
Well, we still have 13 minutes before the live stream has to conclude.
Oh, anime.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Nekopera?
Well, not really. There's a lot of animes I haven't heard of.
Oh, okay. No, you don't need to know what that is. Black Bullet, pretty good. It's about it's kind of scary actually because it's in the space. It's in the year 2021. Mankind gets overrun by a virus that turns people into monsters.
So they actually predicted COVID, except 1 year later. Wow.
No. That anime was in like 2014, 2013.
Yeah.
So it might be based off true events.
So they were only 1 year off with predicting that.
They might be predicting what will happen with COVID. It'll turn into it'll start mutating people into monsters, and then this badass guy with a cyborg right arm and leg and left eye will have to come and punch and then kill everything.
Yeah, by the way, remember this is a children's show. So you can use cleaner words.
Fine, we'll talk about Nekopera then. Nekopera we'll have to translate. Cat Paradise, I believe it translates to. No, we can't talk about that either.
Yeah. Let's see.
Cat girls.
So, NASCAR.
NASCAR, yes.
There's been quite a lot of news on that recently. For example, All Club Speedway is being turned into a short track, which is great news because it's best off that we build a short track instead of repave the current track, which would suck for a lot of years. By the way, just today, just today, I was actually looking at the road courses at All Club, and you know, when I heard of that they were demolishing the current version of All Club and going to be turned into a short track, I thought about all the road courses that are going to be demolished, and I was like, well, the road courses are going, which is kind of stinks, but then I watched some videos about the road courses and also looked at the maps, and the road courses are actually utterly terrible. So, yeah.
Oh, they're terrible, eh?
Yeah, so I was like, rest in peace.
So is when they're retiring this.
Yeah, so I was like, rest in peace, all the All Club Speedway.
And rest in peace, Mark 1.
Road courses. But then I found out the road courses actually suck. So, never mind, actually. And I just texting Hammond for a bit.
Hammond? I talked to Hammond, actually. He said to me, Nicholas, can you, while you're... Oh no, to me. He said to me, Nicholas, can you just...
Anyway, so NASCAR.
Guys.
So Uncle is being turned into a short track. Bubba Wallace has left Richard Petty Motorsports.
No. I'm trying to talk about a very important thing right now.
Oh no, what's this very important thing?
What's happening with Russell?
Oh yeah. Let's just say that his...
Finally, where have you been? What took you so long, Mark 1 on King George?
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna actually go into more depth about Hammond's recent behavior,
10 different trains for you.
Yeah. I'll make it brief for now.
No, we might...
Yes.
Most trains right now won't have Russell properly.
Yeah. So speaking of Russell, let's just to put it short, his behavior recently has been very bad. So bad that I've decided to not include Russell as a part of today's stream, and that's why I decided to turn to Talkshow instead. And it turned out actually that was a very good idea because hey, I can just don't talk about stuff, not to play a video game and stuff like that. To be honest, I prefer to just sit and talk than. I mean, well, especially if there's a lot to talk about. I should mention. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
With the dangers of vanity. We already talked about that.
Yeah. So anyway, and there's also going to be a couple of NASCAR races tonight, actually, at Bristol. Yeah. So we've got the Bristol in Tennessee. We've got the Truck Series and the ARCA Menard Series. And both of those races happen to be on FS1, so hey, I'll actually be able to watch them. That's nice. So, yeah, so right after the stream is over, I'll be tuning in. Apparently they're under a bit of a weather delay, so I'm not going to miss much, but either way, I decided that's why I'm going to be ending this live stream at 7:30 on the dot, because that's when the race begins. Apparently the green flag time is at 7:50, so yeah, we got 20 minutes of pre-race stuff.
Alright, sorry about that. These trains are very old.
Yeah.
From 1984, so they're very loud.
Yes.
You heard it, didn't you?
Not really.
Everyone heard it.
To Production Way University.
So it's mostly going to be very loud on the way there.
Yeah.
And, everyone... But we might talk about the upcoming thing we might do. The Thomas and the Magic Railroad parody.
Oh yeah, the Thomas and the Magic Railroad parody came out. And
Mr. Conductor fan one.
Yeah. So yeah, the Thomas and the Magic Railroad parody.
I thought we were going to do it.
Well, we were going to do it, and then it turns out, oh, there's one that's been in production for years, so now we're not going to do that anymore.
No, the soundtrack. I already had good soundtracks for this.
I mean, we might be able to do something with it in the future, but it's probably not going to happen, to be honest.
We'll be able to do something, right?
Oh, no.
Wait a minute, I just lost your connection for a second. Let me reconnect.
Wow, the quality of the microphone suddenly became good for a second there.
Let me shut my headset off.
Yeah. Anyway, so, what was I saying? So yeah, Thomas and the Metro parody came out, and I really like it, I will say. I mean, there are a few goofs here and there, but overall I really like it, and I'm actually really looking to seeing the behind the scenes of the Thomas and the Magic Road parody, as Hobie is now dropped from the call. Nice. Well, guess reception's going bad on his end, so we'll wait. No, call here. Let's see, call here. Wait, was that Hammond? Oh no, it wasn't. Hey.
Sorry. You there?
Uh-huh.
There. Okay, we're back now.
Yeah. So.
Train to Production Way University.
So yeah, Hobie's on board.
Production Way University?
Meanwhile, here at home doing this stream.
Production Way University? What? George.
Yeah.
Did they just switch from key? What's like this eco discrim? This will help my nerves.
Yeah.
Going down. Doors closing.
Anyway, so, what else happened? Well, let's see. We still haven't got an announcement for the 48 car, but we do know that Jimmy John's going to IndyCar next year, which, I mean, we already kind of knew that, but now it's been confirmed. So, of course, those some things are still going to come together for that to happen, but I am definitely very much looking forward to seeing what Jimmy John's going to do in IndyCar. By the way, there's nobody actually watching the stream, so I do apologize if Hobie's phone is a little bit too loud.
Doors closing.
Either we're going to be ending soon.
Doors opening.
Listen.
Going up. Doors closing.
Yes.
Doors opening.
Not many people in chat, so...
Doors closing.
But, I guess that's a thing. Anyway, next we're going to be back in business. I've got a video coming out next week, which I think you guys will quite like. It's another recent trip, so you might be able to guess what it is. But that will be interesting when that releases. I definitely can't wait to get around editing that, and I'll actually be starting editing that tomorrow. Also, the 24 Hours of Le Mans is this weekend, which will be fun, although unfortunately it's at the same time as the Bristol Night Race for NASCAR Cup Series, so I'm not going to be able to see a part of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Either way, I'm very much looking forward to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I don't think there's going to be much competition up front in the LMP1 class, because Toyota probably going to dominate the race, but I'm definitely interested to see who finishes where in the GT Le Mans class. So, should be an interesting one.
Alright, now, the last elevator run was a traction elevator.
Yeah.
We take it as hydraulic elevator.
And then Formula 1 is back.
Yeah!
Well, next week I should say. Yeah, Formula 1's back. And by the way, so far I've watched every single Formula 1 race this season.
You bought?
Yes. Well, I've watched every race, yeah. So every race from the first Austria race all the way up to the most recent
I
Mugello
can't
race.
watch it. I can't watch it because my grandfather hogs the television.
Oh.
Yeah?
Plus, it's really early in the morning. We're in America. Well, I say that. It starts at 9 a.m. here on the East Coast, and it's 6 a.m. on the West Coast, so,
Much slower.
yeah. So, good luck to all you West Coasters who wake up at 6 a.m. to watch a Formula 1 race. Yeah.
I don't get up at 6 a.m., so I won't watch it.
Yeah.
Probably maybe if I, probably if I tape it.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of which, so the next Formula 1 race actually in a couple weeks. I can't remember where they're going to next, but I think they're going to the horrible Sochi track. The Sochi Autodrome. So, that race will be boring, unless something miraculous happens, like the past couple weeks, but, yeah, it's Sochi, so, yeah.
Gosh!
Anyway, it's almost that time, so we're gonna be wrapping up right about now, actually. Yep.
Alright, so, what's gonna happen? We gonna have one of those after stream calls, or?
I don't know. Well, anyway, this stream is now about to end. So, guys, we hope you have enjoyed this live stream thing. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I assume is now on a train.
I'll be getting on a train soon.
Yeah. And we will see you in whatever we make next.
Yes.